Hello, everybody.
Hi, folks.
Hello, hello. So we're competing tonight for viewers with the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
So not sure how many viewers we'll have, but hopefully people watch this in a replay.
yeah, that's right.
So we are Tina and Michael at Better Yourself 365. And we are husband and wife first, and we are also counseling therapists in our professional jobs. And we have a business together where we support people and couples to be the best version of themselves, and we help them really enhance their relationships. So we're focused on better your health and better your relationships. So we have support in person and online through online trainings that we deliver. So we come in every couple of weeks on these live Facebook conversations. We call it the BY365 Live Conversations. And today's topic is on, well, you can introduce the topic maybe today?
Yeah, well, we want to talk about Valentine's Day. Obviously, it's coming close for those watching it live, and
Tomorrow, by the way.
yeah, for those people who forgot that it's tomorrow, run out and get something. Well, actually, that's what we wanted to talk about today. Is why celebrating Valentine's Day is important. So we're going to be talking about relationships, and particularly about making Valentine's Day maybe special. This is something that's very commercialized these days, and we know that when you go to a store, they're moving through the seasons of the year, and Valentine's is one of those seasons. And there's a lot of kind of social pressure to do this kind of thing on Valentine's Day. And what we want to talk about today is how to make it personal.
Yeah.
Try to personalize that, and maybe even do something special this year that you haven't done before. And so we want to kind of go over some of our ideas about it, and some of the things that we think would make a difference in your relationship if you want to give them a try.
Yeah, and those who are joining us there, don't be shy to comment as you go along. If there's anything that inspires you, if you have any questions along the way, we'll get to that.
Yeah, just type it in the box there and we'll respond to it. So let me ask my wife here, why do you think Valentine's Day matters? Why is it important?
There's a lot of debate on that. A lot of people actually don't like Valentine's Day for that particular reason that you said, right? That's commercialized, and but it's important from a couples therapist perspective because it's an opportunity to celebrate your love. So whether it's decided in the calendar that February 14 is going to be the day, it really doesn't matter. Whether it's that day or not, it doesn't really matter. But it's a reminder. Valentine's Day is important because it's a reminder to pause and celebrate your love and to be grateful because you have somebody by your side to share your life with. And often Valentine's Day is hard for people who may not have found their special person yet, because it's something to treasure. So why not celebrate Valentine's Day, right? Why not give that opportunity to prioritize your relationship? And the expectation is there because it is a commercialized
it's a business
holiday or whatever it's called. So the expectation is there, and actually that can cause some tension sometimes in relationships that maybe aren't where exactly they want to be. Valentine's Day becomes pressure. So if it's there, it is important. You can't ignore it. You can't just get by it. But it can be less tension and something positive, which is what we're going to talk about.
Yeah, and I think that everybody probably knows Valentine's coming, but it's amazing how many of us realize, oh, it's the day before Valentine's and I don't think I've done anything or gotten anything. But we're talking about something that's a little beyond that kind of running out and buying a card and some chocolates. We want to talk today about how to let your partner know that they matter to you, and the types of things that you can do. And if Valentine's Day is one of those days that you do it, then that's awesome, because as Tina said, it is kind of expected that you're going to do it. But, let's make every day Valentine's Day if we can, So we want to talk about some specific things of what to do and, taking responsibility for your part in the relationship.
Yes.
by letting your partner know that they matter to you through certain things that you could do. And one of the ways is on Valentine's Day, obviously.
Yes, and it makes me think when you say that, I should specify the tension that I talked about that can be created sometimes in couples is that you might have one partner that says, "Oh, don't get me anything on Valentine's Day that's commercialized and it's expected that you get me something." So the partner might take that in and say, "Okay, well, I won't get them anything." But really, that's not the message, right?
Mm-hmm.
Underneath that is really this idea that, well, you don't get me anything else during the year, and so it's expected that you give me something at Valentine's, and it doesn't mean much, right?
Yeah,
Especially
right.
if it just ends up being a box of chocolate and some flowers or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
right? And it's not about the money part. It's about the money you spend on that. It's about that's the easy thing,
Yeah.
right? And it doesn't mean that some years you don't have time to do more, or you're not very creative that year, or there's a lot of that happen. Doesn't mean that flowers and chocolates aren't okay. Like that, I don't want that to be the message. But if your partner is giving you the message that they don't want anything, that's probably not true, in the sense that they want something, not just at Valentine's. But
Yeah.
if Valentine's is the only time they get something, yeah, they might be resentful about Valentine's Day in general. So the message is not don't get me anything at Valentine's, actually get them something, but make a note in your calendar in a few months down the line to give them something else that shows your love, right?
Yeah.
Just a gesture. Because if you start ignoring Valentine's Day, you're probably ignoring other parts of your relationship that deserves attention. So think about that,
Mm-hmm.
right? And maybe it's also a complaint about what is being offered at Valentine's Day that's not creative enough. It's always the same thing. That also can create a bit of animosity in a relationship that's maybe not quite where people want it to be, right? That there's a little bit of resentment that started. So I just wanted to
Yeah, because there's
specify
a lot
that.
of expectations that it's a very romantic day. And if on the most romantic day of the year, you give your spouse a box of chocolates, and that's your way of saying, like, on the most romantic day of the year, I'm going to give you a box of chocolates that I just bought 2 hours ago. That means something, and sometimes it can be a negative thing, which is what Tina is saying.
Yeah,
So
especially if it's the same thing every year.
yeah, yeah. So what are the alternatives? What can it look like? And we talk a lot about buying gifts, but not everybody's love language is gifts. And
Mm-hmm.
we have talked about the love languages before. And maybe your partner's love language is not gifts. Maybe it's personal touch, or maybe it's acts of service. So it's not always buying something for your partner and giving them. Although I think the card part is probably the best part of a lot of people's gifts,
Yeah.
especially if you write on it and you write a beautiful note about how much they matter to you. That can be a beautiful gift, and that can touch on a lot of important things that you could do for your
Yes, it's because
partner.
it's not about the money at all.
No.
So you want to start giving some ideas?
Yeah, sure. So I have some
Creative
written down, and
ideas?
Tina has some as well. So
Yep.
let me talk about mine. First of all, I think it's important if okay, as a guy in a heterosexual relationship, I have to own up that I'm not always awesome at knowing what it is that she needs from me. Okay, full ownership on that. So I think I need to ask her sometimes,
Mm-hmm.
what is it you would like for Valentine's Day? If I were to ask her a week in advance, I score major bonus points for that, just because it means I'm paying attention to what's coming up. I want to attend to her needs,
Yeah.
and I'm going to ask her what it is that I can do to make it feel special for her. Sometimes a surprise is awesome, but there are other times where it's like, oh, shoo, it didn't
Yeah.
stick.
And that's where you get the expectation, because with Valentine's Day, everybody has an expectation. They might not all be the same, but everybody has an expectation. And when we had that conversation a while back,
Mm-hmm.
I gave you clear indication that it's not Valentine's Day for me if you don't get me flowers.
That's right. So
Like,
I know that's coming.
that's my expectation. And yeah, I know you'll have something else, or we'll do something, or don't necessarily need a gift, but I need flowers. I love flowers, and that's an insult to me if you don't come at Valentine's Day without flowers.
So part of my job is to ask my wife what she needs and listen to it and give it to her. That's my
But it goes
that's
both
my
ways
part
too,
in our
right?
in that's my part, is to just give it some thought in advance and check in with her. And maybe this year she says, and she hasn't said it, but maybe it's, I like flowers, but I'd also like this. And if I know in advance, I can make it happen. But if I wait on Valentine's Day, it's a little too late for me to pull that off. So why not give it a little bit of forethought and let them know that they matter by asking them, what is it you'd like this year? And then I know for sure I'm getting her needs met.
Yeah.
So let me give you some ideas. So
in case you're late and you haven't had a chance to ask your partner, here's some things that probably can go pretty well.
yes, it'll take some time though, because some of them are not quick. So it's not just a trip to the Shoppers Drug Mart to pick up a carton box of chocolates. So one of them is getting some pictures of your favorite moments together and putting them together in some kind of a collage or a scrapbook, or even a digital little video with pictures on it and some music in the background, something that's a keepsake, and it can be used later on if for the next Valentine's Day. Let's pull out that scrapbook that I made that year. So that's, I mean, I think that's always a hit. How about a love letter? Sneak it into under their pillow, or put it into the card, or maybe it's a poem, or something that something that lets them know that there's you're thinking about your relationship with them in a creative way, and you're going to put it down, and then they get that as a keepsake too. You could redo your first date. So Tina and I went, our first time we met was one thing, but the first date we did was, it was pretty cool, pretty unique. And we could redo that, and we could go through all the steps and went all the places that we did, and that'd be really fun. And let's not forget, it's supposed to be fun, not just let's get this holiday over with.
Yeah.
If you're married, you can dust out your wedding video, and you guys can watch that together. Maybe you eat your box of chocolates then, and then you chit chat together about all the memories of that, and that actually is really fun to do. An appreciation jar. So what you do is you just write a bunch of things that you love about your partner, and you put them in some kind of pretty jar. And anytime your partner maybe wants a little bit of bump or inspiration, they'll dip their hand in and grab one and open up and read it. You could also leave them some, each day, and then they find it in their bag or in their lunch or whatever. Cook their favorite meal, and then have a romantic dinner with some candlelight, and where you make them feel really special. I might have to.
It's even better when you cook it with them too, right? Like that, have
That's right. Yeah,
couples
bottle of wine
experience.
or whatever. Or you could do a special pampering night, where you give them a massage, and you make them fancy drinks, and you just make them feel really special, like they're at the spa. So those are some of my ideas, and you have some too.
Yeah, some of my ideas too are to do a paint. If you're creative, to do a painting or a special pottery, or even better, like there's some pottery places. If you live in a city where they have that, you can go and do it together, which is really fun thing to do as a couple. My notes are here, there. So, and listen, this takes preparation, but listen to what your partner is hinting on, something that you hear them say they would really like, but they maybe not expect you to buy it or to do that with them and surprise them, with that. So, it could be something purchased, or it could be something that you two do together. Like if they've always commented on, it'd be fun to go take a dance class, or, go curling together. I've never curled. It'd be fun to try out that together. So, book that out, then that could be their gift, giving them information on when you're going to do that special event. Here, I got this booked for us on this date. It doesn't have to be Valentine's Day, but you give it to them on Valentine's Day. So that's kind of neat. The same for planning like a special getaway. Again, it doesn't have to be the Valentine's weekend. Often it's so busy, those spots, that you might want to do it another time that works for you, but at least you're planning it and you're prioritizing it and you're presenting it to them on Valentine's Day. And probably the last one for me is probably my favorite, because it's so simple and you could do that quickly, but it has a lasting effect, is to simply make a list of the top 10 things you appreciate about your partner. So put that on a nice page. You can go in Canva and prepare something nice. Canva is free. You can go and prepare something nice, print that off, frame it. right? You don't need to do all those, it could just be a piece of paper if you want it to be that way. But give that to them, and then make a note for yourself for the following 10 days or the following 10 weeks, whatever, however you want to do it. Make sure that each one of those items, you remind them of that. You find a way to remind them of how you appreciate that in them. So it's not just a gift that's just that day. It actually lasts for 10 days or 10 weeks or whatnot. But it forces you to always show appreciation for your partner. And it's a simple thing to do. It can go a long way.
No, it can. And Dwayne left a little note, great ideas. Dwayne and his partner, Jen, they are, like, I bet you there's something special going on today for their Valentine's. They always do so special things, and they really love each other, you can tell. So they could definitely do this Facebook Live themselves on Valentine's. Yeah, so those are good. We usually give like a little take-home thing to do for all of our Facebook Lives, so a little bit of homework. So why don't you give this some thought and come up with some kind of different way that you're going to celebrate Valentine's Day. Just something small and unique that your partner, after it's done or after they get it or whatever, after you say it, your partner says, oh, that's different.
Yeah, or even just have the conversation around it, right?
Oh, yeah, that's good too.
About what they expect, just have the conversation about Valentine's.
Yeah.
What are each of your expectations? So you're not like playing around trying to figure it out. You're having an open conversation around it.
Yeah, and you can even say, okay, so I didn't rock and roll on Valentine's Day today, but what if we like kicked it down the road 2 weeks? What is it that we could do that'd be really fun, and we'll just have a later Valentine's and celebrate it later. Like, it doesn't really matter if it's on the 14th or the 28th.
Which happens to us pretty much every year because we need to, we always want to do something special, but it doesn't always happen on the 14th.
No.
But we talk about it and plan something then, right?
Our life is always really busy in this month for a bunch of different reasons.
So that's it. And if you want to bring it, if you're feeling as you're heading into Valentine's Day that your relationship needs kind of a boost of connection, or you're feeling like you're seeing starts of signs of you need to work on your relationship a bit more, and you're looking for a way to do that, another great way to spruce that up and even present this on Valentine's Day is the idea of doing a weekend retreat together. That's actually last year we offered the weekend retreat on Valentine's weekend. It just happened that we could time it that way. This year we can't, but we do have a weekend retreat for couples coming up March 18th to 20th, and the registration just opened this week. So if you're interested in that, go check out in the comments. I have the link there where you can get more information about it. But definitely that's for any couple who wants to really reconnect, but also that maybe are looking at transforming their relationship. Like you're looking at, you need a little bit of relationship rescue. That is a great way to do that. It's an intensive weekend. You work really hard. You're with us live. It's online through Zoom. But you have like 8 different exercises you do as a couple, and that really connects you. That really, you come out of there with an understanding about your relationship and your roles that you play in it, and have concrete tools and strategies to turn it around if that's what you need. Yeah. So anyhow, we'd be excited to see you there if you're interested in that. And until next time.
Live healthy and love fully, everybody. Yes. Happy Valentine's Day. And have fun watching the Super Bowl. Bye.
Bye-bye.